Biggest question isn't whether you need a bookkeeper, it's are you going to do it yourself? Because here's the reality, your bookkeeping needs to get done, period. Today we're covering 5 red flags that mean you need professional help now. Here's the bottom line, and I say this with all the love in the world. If you're not going to do your bookkeeping, you should get a bookkeeper. If you're going to do it consistently and correctly, you're probably fine doing it yourself. It's not optional, it's a business necessity. And waiting doesn't make it easier, it makes it more expensive and more stressful. These 5 red flags mean you're past the should I and into the I need help immediately. Red flag number 1, you have no idea what you're going to owe in taxes. Here's the problem, you're not making estimated tax payments. You have no idea what you're going to owe. And this panic is affecting every business decision you make and your personal life. Here's why winging it is expensive. You could be hit with underpayment penalties and interest. You could be missing tax saving opportunities. It might mean cash flow stress that hurts your business operations. And lastly, you could be scrambling at the last minute to cover unexpected tax bills. Here's the real impact. Every financial decision you make is made out of fear, not confidence. If you're doing this, you can't be strategic because you don't know where you're at. Red flag number 2, your books are months behind or non-existent. Here's the problem. The I'll catch up later rarely happens efficiently. Each month you wait makes it harder and harder to actually get caught up. Tax prep becomes a nightmare when your books are messy or thrown together at the 11th hour. This has a domino effect in your business. You can't make strategic tax moves because you don't know where you stand. And lastly, you trying to recreate months of activity from your memory is really hard and really time intensive. Here's the truth. If you haven't touched your book since July and it's now November, you probably need help. Red flag number 3, you can't answer how profitable has your year been. You might be confusing revenue with profit. You might be celebrating good months based solely on revenue. And we want to celebrate revenue, but we also want to celebrate profit. You might not know which projects or clients are most profitable for your business, or even profitable at all. If you're not tracking your bookkeeping, you'll probably base how you're doing on revenue, not profit, and both are important. This leads to celebrating good months based only on income, not knowing which services or clients are actually profitable, and you can't explain why some high-level months feel really financially tight. Here's why it matters. All business decisions need to be based on profit, not revenue. Should you hire a new team member? Should you invest in that software? Can you make that purchase? You end up asking yourself, is your pricing sustainable? Can you make that new hire? Can you afford that business software? And you don't have the data to make those decisions. Without profit clarity, you're making these decisions blindly. Red flag number 4, you're making your business decisions based on your bank account balance. Here's why this is dangerous. Your checking account doesn't show upcoming obligations. It ignores seasonal patterns, and it leads to either overly conservative or risky decisions. This can create constant financial stress and reactive management. Here's some examples we see of bad bank account balance decisions. You turn down good opportunities because cash is temporarily low. You make large purchases without considering upcoming obligations, which could lead to cash flow issues. You avoid necessary investments due to that cash flow anxiety. Red flag number 5, you have no owner's pay strategy. Here's how this shows up in your business. You could be taking irregular draws with no plan. You might have no idea about the tax implications of how you're paying yourself. And you might find it really hard to do your personal financial management because you have such irregular income. This also might cause a year-end scramble. Instead of enjoying the holidays with your family, you have a December panic about optimal compensation. You're trying to figure out at the last minute if you made the right decision to save the most in taxes. Here's the real cost of waiting. Higher tax prep fees for disorganized records, missed opportunities because you didn't know your numbers, underpayment penalties and interest charges, stress-driven decisions that hurt your business performance, and starting next year without financial direction or clarity. Here's the reality. Professional help usually pays for itself with tax savings alone. And that's not even taking into account the value of reduced stress and better decision making. If you found yourself nodding along to these red flags, here's what you should look for in a bookkeeper. Make sure to ask them, do you provide strategic guidance or just data entry? How do you communicate financial information clearly? What's your experience with businesses like mine? How do you help with tax planning throughout the year? Do you collaborate with my tax preparer? And here's some red flags to avoid. Extremely low prices that indicate minimal service. No regular communication or education. Just transaction recording without guidance. If you recognize any of these flags in your business, it's time to act. The question isn't, can I afford to have a bookkeeper? It's, can I afford not to? If you feel like we might be the team for your business, book a discovery call today. Because doing your bookkeeping isn't optional, but doing it yourself is. If you liked this video, make sure to like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.